Hello. Right, this section is the stretching section. If you've done the warm-up and the exercise, the functional fitness exercises, this is the last bit of it. I would advise you not to do stretching unless you've done a workout or unless you've been for a walk, unless you're nice and warm, because you can pull a muscle. So the first exercise we're going to do, the first one we're going to do is we're going to stretch the calf muscles. But for this you need the chair. Hold on to the back of the chair, bend your front leg, have your back leg straight, both heels are on the ground, both feet are pointing in the same direction. Just check that your feet are in the same direction and just lean forward. And you should feel a stretch on your calf just behind just at the top of your calf, behind your knee. We'll just hold this for a few seconds. And then we're going to very gently bend your back knee. Now your heel will come off the ground. Put a little bit of weight on that leg and you should feel the stretch moving down into your Achilles tendon. We're just going to hold that for a few more seconds. And then we're going to switch legs again. Not again, just switch legs. Leaning forward, feeling the stretch at the top of the calf. Just have a look at your feet to check that they're both pointing in the same direction. Because sometimes you think they are and you look down and lo and behold they're not. And then gently bend your back knee, your heel comes off the ground, put a bit of weight on that leg and you should feel the stretch moving down into your lower calf and your Achilles tendon. Okay, right. The next muscles we're going to stretch are the quadriceps. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can either hold on to your foot. You can use your ankle if you've got long trousers on. Some people do that, and try and keep your knees together. If you can't do that, it's absolutely fine. A very effective way is just to try and kick your hands with your heels. I'm going to actually do this one today. This one is quite effective because not only does it stretch your quadriceps, the big thigh muscles, but it strengthens the hamstrings. So we're going to just do this. If you're holding on to if you're doing this static one, holding on to one leg, and you can hold on to the chair with your other hand so that you don't overbalance. Switch legs now. As dynamic stretchers, we're going to keep doing this because I'm actually better at this than I was. When I first started, it was more difficult to kick my hands than it is now. I can do it quite easily now. Not so much with the left leg at the moment because the knee's a bit damaged. Okay, so I think 3, 2, 1. Right, the next one we're going to do is the hamstrings, which are the big muscles at the back of the leg. Using the chair, sit right at the edge of your chair. Don't topple over, obviously. And have your knees at 90 degrees, your ankles under your knees, sitting up nice and straight. You can check that you're straight by just touch your hands above your head. That's a nice straight pose. And then take one leg, straighten it, have your toe pulled back. And then you're going to lean forward from the hips, you're not going to fold forward. Imagine you've got an eye in your chest and it's going to look forward. So it's looking forward that way. Keep your toe pulled back, so you're moving sort of forwards rather than down. You're sort of moving more forwards and your eye in your chest is still looking forward. Keeping your toe pulled back makes it a bit more ouchy. You can go as far, this is your stretch, so if you want to go just to there, that's absolutely fine, as long as you're coming from the hips, absolutely fine. I'm quite bendy, so I can sort of go quite far. And then sit up and a repeat on the other leg. So you're going to stretch forward. Just make sure the toe comes back. And sitting up. That's it. Right. Standing up, have your arms at shoulder height with your palms facing forwards and you're going to pretend you're grabbing a tree, so your arms are round like that. They're not straight out like that, they're round like that, but at shoulder height. I'm going to turn sideways so as you can see, and then you just dip your head. And this stretches the big muscles across your shoulders. I quite like this stretch. So I get quite tight across my shoulders. I like this one. And then, if you can, interlink your fingers behind your back. If you can't, just try and get your elbows together. You never will, of course, but just that's what you're doing. Interlink your fingers behind your back. If you're interlinking your fingers, just lift them up so that you get a stretch across here. As long as you get a stretch across your chest, we don't really care, because we want a strong back and not a slack chest, but the muscles across the chest well stretched, so that you don't get the old person stance, because there's nothing more aging than an elderly stance. Who needs Botox? Just get your body upright. Okay? Right, we've gone from the bottom of our body, well, the calves, the thighs, the legs, the shoulders. I don't really know how to stretch the abdomen. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit, and we're going to look diagonally to the left, and just very, very gently pull your head slightly. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. Just to stretch here. Keep this shoulder down. I don't want your head right on the side, but just sort of looking down diagonally. And then bring it up and do the same on the other side, diagonally looking, just pull slightly. Make sure the shoulder is nice and relaxed and down. Don't hunch it up. And then look up. And lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to turn your head as far as you can to the left. Take a note of where it is. And then you're going to take your right hand and put it against the right hand side of your face. And you're going to try and turn your head to the center, but you're going to resist with your hand. So you're going to set up a lot of tension in your neck. And then you're going to relax totally, and you should be able to turn your head slightly more to the left than you could before. Just going to hold it there for a couple of seconds, and then bring it back to the center, and then turn it to the right. Ooh, it's quite stiff. Put your left hand on the left hand side of your face, and then try and turn your head, but resist with your hand. Create that tension in your neck, and then relax totally, and you should be able to turn your head just a little bit more to the right. Okay, so after that you should be nice and limber, and thank you for watching.